Here's a question for you. Do you want to be happy? Or do you want to run in the circles of suffering? And this might sound like an easy question, but ask yourself what your actions are showing you to be the answer. One of the first things that we need to tackle if we say that we want to uncover the truth of who we are, liberate ourselves, is the victim tendency. So many of us are playing in this arena. And we can come up with 1,000 reasons why it would be hard for us to wake up, to dive in, to but the truth is that we are simply allowing ourselves to stay in the cycle of suffering. And that's okay. But be real about it. Be real with yourself of what it is that you're actually doing when you are expressing in different ways the reasons why it's not possible for you. Because that's simply not true. It's possible for everyone. It is what we are. It is our, I don't like to use the word birthright because it's even simpler than that. It's who we are. There is only the desire, the true desire to know that is needed. And that is up to you. In order to have the desire to really look at what is here, what is true, we need to recognize that we are putting ourselves in a cycle of victimhood, of saying, this is hard for me, this happened to me. And even if we're not doing that, some of us are using the world. Look at what's happening in the world. That's what I need to worry about. The greatest service that you can do to the world is to awaken to who you are. And that doesn't take away from caring about other human beings or having compassion. It actually deepens your compassion. And it deepens your ability to creative solutions. And I'm recognizing that this might be a hard pill to swallow. And it might upset some people. But if you are not telling the story of your own victimhood, you might be telling the story of other people's victimhood and hiding behind that. In order to not wake up, in order to not face what is within you. Because at the end of the day, it's simple. It's simple to begin, to start to look, to just sit down, give yourself the space to experience here and now, to breathe, to begin to pay attention to what is appearing in your experience, thought, emotion, sensation. And there might be a great resistance there. And that's okay. It's okay. There's resistance. It's not a problem. But if we want to start looking, really look, we first got to recognize in what ways we are avoiding looking and what tactics we're using to avoid, to allow ourselves to avoid. So if you're not sitting down and giving yourself that space to begin to look, ask yourself, what are the reasons I'm giving to not do that? And just that can be a beautiful, strong teaching. Because when we ask that question, we might also notice what thoughts and feelings arise through that. How does it feel to ask myself that question? But I don't have the time and da 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 da. Whew. All of a sudden, heart pacing. What are you actually afraid of? You might be afraid to meet yourself. You might be afraid to face your emotions and your memories. And recognizing that fear is the first step. Second step is to do it, is to sit down, cultivate that love. If you don't yet have the space, if you're not yet able to localize that space between thought, presence, being, The sense of knowing that you exist, if that feels tricky at first to recognize, you can begin at the heart. Feel the heart. Breathe through the heart. And just be with it. Nothing to do. Nothing to fix. Nothing to figure out. Nothing to analyze. Just be with it. Just be with it. Just breathe. Just breathe through your heart. Just breathe through your heart. I love you. Blessings.